So today we are going to go over how to update pages on your new Teesnap WordPress website. So jumping back to the back end, the WordPress dashboard of the website, there are three main areas that you're going to focus on when it comes to changing the content or information on your web page. They are pages, posts, and events. So today we're going to go over pages, but just so that you are clear on the definition of this, a page is any page on the website. If I look at the front end of the website, I'm on the home page. Here's a rates page. There's an about us page. So this is on this particular website. There is different pages, but your website may have different pages than what's on this demo, but they're all pages. It's all pages on the website. Events is anything that is on the calendar, and that would be under events, in this case, club calendar, which is not found in our demo, but that's fine. And then the posts is anything that's on the news blog feature of the website. So in this case, it would be under news. And that's basically this page right here. So these are different. So these are three different areas that you'll edit your content: pages, posts, and events. Today we're going to talk about pages. So again, a page is any page that's on the website, and it's any content within a page that's between the header and the footer. So let me give you an example. This is the home page. Everything between the header, which is where this menu is, and the footer, which is everything in this black area down, is considered a page. These areas are edited in a different place, but a page is all the information between those two areas. So I'm on the home page, and you're going to see different elements on this page. And what I mean by elements, it's anything that's images or text or buttons or media is an element. So all modern websites are built in a box structure, a box format. So if you think about this website here, there's a big box with this image with the golf ball in the back, and then there's a box inside of that box that says "Welcome to Teesnap Golf and Country Club." Then there's this little layer, this little subheading box. Then there's another box that has a button in it. So these are all boxes, different laid out, different way, but they're boxes inside of that. So if you can remember that every piece of content is sitting inside a box, in order for you to change that out or update that, you just need to find where that box is. So again, I'm on the home page. So I'm going to go to the back end of the WordPress website. I'm going to go ahead and click on pages. It's going to open up all of my pages, and I'm going to find the page that I want to edit. And in this case, it is the home page. So you'll see I found home page. So I can either click home or edit. It doesn't matter. But it's going to open up the back-end editor. Now there's two kinds of back-end editors. There's what they call the advanced editor, and then the default or the general editor. If you're seeing default editor here, that's probably a good thing, because that means you're in the advanced editor, which is called the Avaya Layout Builder. And inside of here is what you want to do. So you'll notice that anything inside of this under Avaya Layout Builder section, it's all boxes. Here's a box with a slider. Then there's a box that says rediscover your love for Teesnap, or rediscover your love for golf at Teesnap. If I jump to the front page, there's my box, and then below it is a box that says this. It's all just boxes in the back end. So I've got a full page slider, which is basically the full, showing this full section, the full desktop width here. And inside of that slider, I would have different elements to edit. So let's just jump back. Let's just say we're going to change this, this header right here to start. So we need to find the box that's in. So in this case, I know it's going to be in the very top box, which is this full page slider. So I'm going to click on that box. And inside of this box is different elements. So I have content, screen options, developer. Mainly what I'm going to deal with is content. And right now I have this image, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then underneath this image, I have options. So there's that caption, this header, and this title, and this caption text. If I jump back to my front page, there's the title and there's the text. And then below it is a button. If I jump back, and this is where I would edit the button text and whatnot. So boxes inside of boxes inside of boxes is basically how this website is built. So I could change the content here. I could update it here by hitting save. And I would save this again. And nothing gets updated on the front end until you click on update. So these would have been in there, and I could actually preview the changes that I made before I update, and it would open up a preview in another web browser tab. However, in this case, if I knew what I was updating was good, I would hit update and it would update on the website. Nothing gets updated on the website on a page unless you hit this update button. So let's jump back to the front end here quick. Let's just say that I needed to put some text here because this is kind of placeholder text. If I wanted to add or change this text or change a word in this text, I'm basically, again, going to find the box that this text is in. So if you jump to the back end of the website, I'm already on the home page. I go down, and here is the box inside of a column. We'll get to that in a second. But the box inside of this box where I can edit this content. So I would just click this. It would open up this particular text block editor. You'll see I have some normal functionality like a normal Word document editor where I can align my text or do different things, make it bold or change the heading. If let's just say in this scenario I wanted to add a heading, I could come over here, I can add a heading. So there's my heading. I could change any text that I wanted. If I did want to add media, I could add media, which we're going to get into in a minute. Media is basically anything from pictures, videos, that kind of thing. But let's just put that heading in there. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And again, nothing gets updated on the front end until I hit update. So I basically have two options at this point. I can hit preview changes and just get a preview, or in this case, I can just go ahead and update the website because it was a simple change. I can do that. And if I jump back to the front end of the website and I refresh the page, there's my heading that I just added. So real simple, real easy to do as far as page editing. So let's get into a little bit of details about what you can do with a page editor. So I'm going to look at this section right here, and I'm going to just pretend that we wanted to add like an image over on this side of the page, over here on the right side of the text. So let's jump back to the back end. I'm going to go ahead and look at the editor. You're going to see that in this section, basically this title is set to span the entire width of the page, but I do have two columns here. I have a column that's 3/4 and I have a column that's 1/4. And these columns can easily be adjusted by using these arrows. So if you went smaller and I wanted to make this a little bigger, I could do that. And that would make this area. Basically, I'm looking to get a 4/4 column grid layout. So 2/3 here, 1/3 here. I'm ready to go. So I do already have a column block over here. If I didn't, this is where you would add any kind of column block. So you can tell I got if I wanted to drag in a row, I could drag a row. If I wanted to drag in, a 1/4 block, which is a single column with a 50% width, I could do that. If I wanted to put a 3-column grid underneath here, I could drag it. But these tabs up here are basically the structure or the content of the web page. So I'm okay with this layout per se. I've got this box over here already. That's 1/3. If not, I could have drug it over and put it here. But I've already got the box here, so I want to add some content into this box. If you get in the habit of following these tabs in order, you'll be in good shape. So first you would decide the layout. In this case, I've got that. Second place, I want to add some content. And then the third tab is media. So content is basically anything, any kind of these grids you can drag and drop, a text block. If you needed to add space, which we'll get into in a minute, some white space or a separator line like this one here. There's different elements. We're not going to get into all of these right now. The main ones you're going to use are special heading or text blocks to add content, to add text content. But in this case, we want to add an image. So I'm going to go ahead into my media elements, and you'll see I have the image blocks as one of my options. Again, I can drag a video, I can do sliders or an audio player if I had audio for whatever reason. But in this case, we wanted an image, so I'm going to go ahead and drag the image. So I'm going to just grab this box, and I'm going to drag it into the box that I want to place it in. And it kind of puts this placeholder image in there, in the box. So if I was to go ahead and update this page, you're going to see that it's going to have this placeholder image on the front page. So let's take a look just to see what that looks like. And there it is. There's my image. But I don't want to have this placeholder image. I want to actually put a real picture in there. So I'm going to show you how to do that quick. So again, everything, I find the box that has my content in it. I click the box. When the box opens up, I have the option of editing what's in that box. And in this case, I just want to insert an image. So I'm going to click on Insert an Image, and it's going to give me two options. The first tab, actually it's the second tab over towards the right, is the media library. This is all of the content that I have inside of the media library on the website at this time. This is basically all the content that I can use on the website. If a piece of content or an image or whatnot is not in the library, I can easily add it to the media library by going to the Upload Files tab. This would give me the option to either drag files to this window from my computer or just hit Select Files and be able to go through, navigate on my computer as to where to get the files or whatnot. So if I had an image file, I can just select the image, hit open, and it would upload it to the media library. But for now, let's use this image right here. And it gives me some options which you can experiment with. I don't want to get into too much detail, but if I wanted to change the size of that image, it's still going to fit inside the width of the container. But it'll actually let me lay out the image accordingly to the actual size and quality of the image itself. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that image, and there it is. Again, I have to hit save on this box. I may have to hit save again if it comes up, but there's my image and I'm ready to update. So I'm going to go ahead and click on update in this case. I'll jump back to the front end. We'll reload the page. And when you see it's reloaded, there's the image ready to go. And everything in the back end is basically drag and drop. If for some reason I wanted to drag this image to where it was in this particular box under the heading, I literally could just drag it over and it would put it under there. And if I go ahead and preview what this would look like on the front end, there it is. So it's pretty much drag and drop. Not 100%, but pretty much drag and drop. So I'm going to drag this back over here because that's where I want it. So that is basically adding an image to a page, editing any content on the page. If I wanted to particularly, let's say I wanted to add another column or another paragraph to this area under here, I can easily go to my content elements. I can go ahead and find a text block, and I can drag it down to here. And then it would be here to add my own. It would basically say I would add my own text. I'm going to leave that for now. Just go ahead and update it. And if I jump back to the front, you'll see that I'll have a new paragraph there that I can actually edit, or a new text section that I can actually edit there. So if I wanted to put some space between two elements, and this is kind of important for as far as the website looks, if I wanted to maybe push this image down, or let's say I wanted to add some space in between this particular text block and this one, I would drag what they call white space. So white space is under the content elements. It's this white space separator right here. So let's just put it in between this text block and this text block. So I'm going to just go ahead and drag down that white space. And if I use this little box to make this, to edit this actual space, you'll see it's going to basically now, under the default, create just a single line. But if I didn't want the line, I just wanted actual, just plain old space between the two, I would use what they call white space in this particular horizontal rule styling box. and I would be able to add or take away whatever the number. The higher the number, the more space between the elements. So I'm going to go extreme on this, and let's make it like 350, just so you can see kind of how it works. So I'll go ahead and save that box, and I'll go ahead and update the page. Let's jump back to the front end and refresh, and you should see a large amount of space now between these two paragraphs, and you do. So I basically was able to do that. Now I went very extreme on that number 350. That's a little bit more than what you would ever want to use, or at least use in most cases, but that's basically how you add kind of white space. So you can always go back and edit that by simply hovering your mouse over the element, hitting on this little edit box, and then we can go ahead and dump that back to something a little more reasonable. Update the page. And you'll see that's a little more, that's a little better than kind of what I was going for. So if I want to remove an element, in this case I want to remove this text here where it says click here, just this part, and I want to remove this image and go back to the original way it was. I'm going to jump back to the back end, and it's simply a matter of hovering over the box that you want to get rid of and Xing it. Now you want to be cautious not to exit the containing box, in other words, the box that's holding the elements in it, unless you actually really do want to get rid of that containing box. Basically, we want to just get rid of elements inside the box. So I don't need this white space anymore. And we said that we were going to get rid of this picture, so I can just hover over this picture again, go to the X, get rid of it. I'll go ahead and update my page, and I'm back to the original way, the original page that was here. So every page is styled in the same way or similar way. The one thing I did want to discuss with you is the actual rates page, because these are considered what we would call cataloged items on the page. So let's go ahead and edit this page and let's change out some of these rates, because these are a little bit different. But again, I kind of can see this page has a box here, there's nothing in it, and then it has a column on the left side and a column on the right side. So let's jump back here, and I could go to pages, and I could go down to the rates page or find the rates page and click on rates. And that would take me to the rates page on the back end. But I wanted to show you really quick, when you're signed in as an administrator of the page, you get this black toolbar across the top. Now this bar does not show up for your end users, people visiting the website. It just shows up when you're signed in as an admin. And when you're on a particular page that you want to edit and you're signed in as an admin, you can get directly to the back-end page that you need to edit by simply going up here and clicking on Edit Page. So we'll do that in this case. I just click Edit Page, and you'll notice it opens up the exact area in the back WordPress dashboard that I need to edit. So again, I had those columns on the left and those columns on the right, and I wanted to change out some of the fees, the greens fees on the column on the left. So you'll see I have boxes. I have my left column, my right column box. Inside I have this special heading box that says green fees. On this box I have other fees. And underneath it I have what's called a catalog. Now let me show you where that content element is. It is actually under right here. So these would have got dragged under there. But in this case, I've already got it. So I'm going to go ahead and click it. And you'll see inside of here, I've got my elements that I've had. And it kind of gives me a little preview. So let's just say it's not $24 anymore. It's $25 for 18 holes on the weekend. So if I go ahead and click the box that I want to edit over here, you'll see it opens up the title, and I can change this title. I can actually add a description that would show up underneath it if I wanted to. But underneath here is my pricing. So we'll just go ahead and change that to $25. Update it to that. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And again, I have to hit save on this box as well. I can go ahead and update the page. And as soon as this little wheel stops rolling, the page is now updated. So if I want to quickly jump back to the actual page, I can use this permalink right here, and it will go ahead in the same tab, load the page, and you'll see that my rate for 18 holes on the weekends is now $25. So it's that easy. So very customizable, very laid out very easily for you to make any kind of changes on any kind of content on the page. Real easy to do. Again, a page is any element inside of the menu structure. So it's inside of, let's jump back to the home page quick. Anything here is called the header. Anything below that should show up in that Avaya builder, and then the footer is in a different area. But all content in between is you're able to edit inside of the Avaya builder. Now, really quick, if you did happen to jump back here and it just was showing the box, you weren't getting any of those boxes I talked about to drag and drop, it's probably because you're in the default editor, and you can simply make your way back to the advanced layout editor by clicking on advanced layout editor right here. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us by sending an email to support@teesnap.com, support@teesnap.com, or by calling our support number.